welcome back to SpongeBob SquarePants Employee of the Month. At least 3 of the 5 members of the commentary so far are still stuck in this rock bottom, whereas the other 2 took their last bus to Bikini Bottom and forgot to tell us.
It was a tragic story.
You know what?
I
had to remind myself that there was 5 exactly, because I knew Celie was there with us, but I kind of forgot Jordan was.
Well, yeah, she was like the only other person here that actually played the game besides, the 3 of us. Celie was just along for the ride.
Okay, that's my bad.
But yeah, no, we're stuck down here, and even worse, Rock Bottom's going through a bit of a really bad rainfall that's pretty much going to last eternity if we don't do something about it.
Also looks like a bus shortage as a result.
Yeah.
I mean, considering what happened to us last part, I mean, they're just playing it safe at that point.
I will still admit, looking at this now and listening to, like, again, all the details that they...
Chimps?
Yeah. The ones where they get hit on the head with a bunch of coconuts. Anyway, but the fact of, like, looking at the amount of detail, the effort they went into to get the original cast and to make these backgrounds that look like the same art style, it just, I'll admit, I'm surprised that this was... Wow. Armed... Jeez. But,
I mean, that just sounds like a Metal Slug game to me.
It does. Yeah. But no, basically, I'm surprised this was the first and last time they did, like, a big point-and-click SpongeBob game.
Oh, no,
well, there's also the...
Logan, leave it to me here. There's a lot more than just this. Like, the same developers that made this game went on to make a couple more afterwards. Like... Oh? Granted, they did do the PC version of Battle for Bikini Bottom, but that's more of a mini-game fest, kind of like Operation Krabby Patty. Then they did the movie game, which was a point-and-click. Then they did Lights, Camera, Pants, was another point-and-click. And the last game they did was an adaptation of Creature from the Krusty Krab, which I'm not entirely sure how that one plays, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's another point-and-click.
Interesting. So what they were doing was... Okay, so that probably was where I was being, like, confused, perhaps, was that, like... So they took these other platformer action games and turned them into point-and-click adaptations.
I've been running errands all day. One kelp bar, please. And don't let it get mushy.
And arguably, you could say that in some cases it was better, because some people still regard the platformer... Dang.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, SpongeBob's pretty much speaking for every point-and-click protagonist out there under the sun.
Yeah, it's...
But yeah,
go ahead. It's oddly refreshing to see SpongeBob being this sassy.
Like they were saying, like we were saying earlier, like it's interesting to me that that's how that worked, especially since some people would regard the actual platformer SpongeBob SquarePants movie game as a knockoff Battle for Bikini Bottom.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that's kind of funny considering that was made by the same people.
Wait, this team right here worked on the movie platformer game?
No.
This team worked on the right. Yeah. This team worked on the PC version.
You know, I could really use a bathroom break.
Why not? Treat ourselves. The hell?
He slipped and fell.
Oh.
Well, at least I got the quarter.
Who put the quarter?
Well.
Whoever was the last sucker that got sucked down there like we did.
Well.
By the way, pay no mind to that ominous figure up there standing right next to the bus stop.
Okay.
While we go grab ourselves a kelp bar.
Well, put the goddamn quarter in the slot.
Common courtesy and all that. And don't worry, unlike the episode this chapter is based on, we actually get the kelp bar for a change.
And it doesn't summon another Devil Damn bus that leaves before you get a chance to even get to it.
That was still my favorite.
That's something they played around with Battle for Bikini Bottom, and hey, I recognize you.
It's the anchovy.
And he's playing hacky sacks with a Kelsey bottle. Excuse me, Kelsey can.
What are you doing?
I'm waiting for the next bus. I need to get back to Bikini Bottom.
There's still something to me a little bit like surreal and/or off-putting about like how he has no mouth texture. It's just more body.
No.
Well, that's kind of how the anchovies were built in the show.
Yeah, they in of themselves did kind of look like Muppets.
So I'm looking more into games. So they worked on a bunch of after SpongeBob. which looks like the SpongeBob game was like one of the first big recorded ones. They later worked on a lot of Agatha Christie point-and-click games.
That's a name I've heard, like, here and there, but I never really delved too much further than that.
It's like a famous, like, mystery novel series.
I know they worked on like the first handful of Jimmy Neutron games, including the one with Jimmy Negatron.
Yeah, I think
That thing.
they also worked on an Avatar: The Last Airbender game.
Probably the PC port.
Probably, and the Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed PC game.
That I definitely remember because that has the exact same structure as the Battle for Bikini Bottom PC version.
I mean, let's not beat around the bush. All Games is pretty much a PC developer, and that's pretty much, you know, where they stand even today, even assuming they're still around anyway.
Yeah.
Good for kicking.
Can I have it?
If I let you have this can, what would I do to pass the time waiting for the bus?
You can talk to me.
Look, no offense, little guy, but I'd rather watch paint dry.
Fair.
Paint drying? Where? Where? I want to see.
He knows what he likes.
Boy.
Well, gotta run.
Okay, I'm gonna keep an eye out for that bus.
And while he keeps an eye out for that bus, let's pick up that there Kelsey Campbell before he gets the idea to pick it back up, like I forgot to. Oops.
It's me again.
The fact that we're just gonna have this whole conversation
Gotta run.
Okay.
and then just steal it from him.
Well, we kind of have to progress with the plot, and don't worry, he's not going to give you too much crap for it.
Sorry, I took your can.
No problem. I hate you.
Okay.
Wow.
No, something about that whole interaction was funny to me. The fact that SpongeBob immediately took it, did not even take a step, and was like, "Sorry, I did the thing I just said I wasn't gonna do. That's okay. I just hate you."
Yeah.
Okay, so with this, so we got the kelp bar.
Something tells me he's not going to let that whole thing. You know, I don't think he's the type of guy to hold a grudge.
All right.
I
so
hope
what do you wanna
not.
know? What's that here?
At the same time, I will say, thank goodness that the education department finally has been kicking into high gear, and all these rock bottom denizens got rid of that little you know, raspberry dialect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they've all learned. They've pretty much dropped that habit completely for the sake of this game. Which, I mean, as much as it would have been an interesting attention to detail if they did keep that in, but it'd also be very annoying considering that you're going to be talking to a lot of these rock bottom feeders anyway.
Yeah.
Fair.
Oh yeah, by the way,
Maybe if I got a running start. Nah.
don't even think about it, Spongehead. You know what that was like before.
Yeah.
We tried. Well, let's go down the other way. Let's see what there is to rock bottom.
Oh yeah, so yeah, Employee of the Month actually does expand upon the outer reaches of rock bottom because naturally in the episode prior, like that whole area we were just in, that's the entirety of where the episode took place in. Here they even have they have a weather station and so much more.
It looked like a football stadium or something with an anchor.
Oh, look at that.
Also, hello, obvious reference to their previous game.
Look at America's favorite
America's
sponge.
favorite sponge.
Ooh, Operation Krabby Patty. That was my very first game.
Piercing!
It was not. It was not.
It was one of the first. To be fair, it was one of the first. The Legend of the Lost Spatula was like the very first one, but only by like a few months difference.
You know, when I look at that Touched by an Angelfish, I'm sorry. Like, it does have the same energy of in my heart, actually in your arteries.
In your arteries.
And then
Yeah, that
wink.
fish, that eye looks familiar, actually.
How are you doing today?
Who, her?
Yeah, the eye does.
Unfortunately,
Oh, the girl down at the bus station did say that this is her sister.
Oh,
It even sounds like her too.
So please come back tomorrow for a tour. Thank you.
But we
I'm
are.
not here for the tour. Well, what are you here for then? I'm very busy.
I can.
I'm sure you are.
So to get right down to the point, we're not going to be able to go anywhere inside the WSCA station without tools.
Right, we need to convince her that we're a
And if I
repairman.
don't see you carrying any tools,
Well, we
then
gotta
really
find
don't
somebody
mean
with
business.
them there
Have a nice
tools.
day.
You have a nice
You have
day
a
too,
very
lady.
nice desk.
Yeah, great line, Romeo. You sure
Wow.
know how to woo
I'm gonna look
a girl.
into like the cast of characters because I know we made the joke last time where it sounded like all the original characters were voiced by one dude. I'm actually curious like how many people they got.
I think
you
they
know,
got at
more-
least 2 or 3 at the very most.
I'm wondering
I
if they
don't-
got. I'm just wondering if they got any of the like. I'm wondering if they got any of the extras who also do extras on the SpongeBob show, or if they only got the main cast.
They only got the main cast.
I think it's only the main cast, and I don't think they credited the extra actors, or at least I didn't find them on a BTVA.
Yeah.
So, crap, what do we do now? Well, not much else to do but go behind the scenes of WSCA to find the actual repairman. But first, let's see what Patrick's up to down in Rock Bottom.
Oh!
It's Mermaid Man.
I think I forgot to ask, is this the actual Mermaid Man, or...?
No.
It's the one from Battle for Bikini Bottom.
I think weirdly enough, the only game that Ernest Bogmeyer actually voiced him for was Super Sponge, of all things.
Right.
And even then,
Don't be so grabby.
Sorry.
Oops.
But I would say, even though you think he was kind of, like, faltering a little bit there?
He sounded a little tired.
Yeah.
Either that or he overplayed the tired aspect of Mermaid Man's character.
I say that's the case. You know, it's really amusing how, like, we've never had, like, an actual game proper where Ernest Bogmeyer and Clancy Brown were in it together, because most of the time, it's either just the one guy voicing them both. Occasionally, you'll have, like, Clancy there, but someone else will be Mermaid Man. And then, yeah, in the case of Super Sponge, like, Ernest was there, but someone else was Krabs.
Krabs was still, the other actor.
Right, yeah.
But, anyway, why don't we 90s it up with our repairman here?
What a totally gnarly repairman.
Yep.
And I mean, naturally, since we're still in Rock Bottom, he too is a freak.
Yeah.
You know, it's probably a good thing that SpongeBob and friends never stick around Rock Bottom for any longer than they need to, because imagine what sort of freakish transformations they undergo while down here.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think led to the creatures being, like, the way they are in Rock Bottom?
Oh, I mean, that's pretty simple. That's kind of the whole thing behind Rock Bottom, is that the whole point of the area is that it's supposed to mimic that of what it's like
Deep sea.
yeah, deep sea pressure and whatnot, and how dark it is by comparison.
Like, which leads to all them weird, messed up... Oh, God. If you want to see a really messed up, like, actually, like, would stop me in my tracks and potentially embrace death if I crossed its path, look up the long-fin squid.
Where can I get one of those?
Alright, challenge accepted.
Oh, boy.
Actually, no, maybe it's not... Oh, no, maybe it's not called longfin. Oh, crap. What was it called? Oh, big fin. Big fin
Big
squid.
fin.
Not to be
Big
confused with
fin.
the longfin squid.
And squid.
Just big fin squid.
So real quick, the tool man there wants us to go get him some Kelsey. And this is the only place that sells it, the Rusty Anchor. Though if you also notice on the right side where the parking lot is, looks like our favorite semi-retired superheroes are about ready to call it a day.
I'd recognize that caterpillar anywhere.
Hey, Hermie. Rest in peace, good sir. Anyway, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy.
Hello!
Boy, it's me, SpongeBob SquarePants.
Should we help?
Oh, it's you. Look, we're a little busy.
Yes, I think something's going on over there with that dude.
Yeah.
Is he okay?
Yeah, no, Mermaid Man,
Oh, yeah.
Is he drunk?
no, more like
He just has a stomach ache.
Barnacle Boy will explain it in better detail.
Okay, yeah, please. I want to understand more about this dire dilemma.
All right, it seems that Mermaid Man here can't hold his cola like he used to.
Oh, so they weren't drinking beer. Okay, he was...
No, they were
competing with
drinking
Patrick.
cola.
And now he's got such bad gas he can't even stand
Oh,
up.
the Benz.
Yeah, the worst pain known to man or mermaid mankind.
Dragging him this far.
Oh, and apparently he can't do much because he threw out his back lifting Mermaid Man.
Fair.
No offense, little guy. It's gonna take a lot more than our scrawny arms to get some of his girth off.
I will admit, I will admit, I have been in that position before. Mainly, like, I've had it, like, stuck in my chest before.
Oh, that sucks. By the
And
way,
yeah,
how
actually... yeah, wait a minute. They do actually... Oh.
He bumped into it.
And, yeah, no, they do actually never touch upon that, how these guys can breathe underwater, but they're superheroes.
Well, they're technically mer... I think it's explained that they're sort of mer people.
Ah.
Eyes of fire in the belly of iron.
I'm gonna throw this out here. Just hear me out. Let me listen one more time.
I tell you. Iron.
Okay, maybe not as... Okay, maybe not...
Daddy, I want my whoopee.
What's a
What?
whoopee?
Mermaid Man?
I was gonna say, okay, maybe not so much there, but...
Luring
It's kind of...
sky turning
It's kind of humorous, but, like, sometimes in this dude's, like, dialogue, as he's like, I'm dying! Like, as he's, like, getting closer to that point and, like, exasperated, he actually sounds closer to Mermaid Man than he does in Battle for Bikini Bottom.
I imagine this is probably an instance where he was still I'm trying to think. I want to say experimental, but I think this technically came out before Battle for Bikini Bottom.
That's what I'm
so
saying. Like, I think he was like he was experimenting. He went a little bit too far in the wrong direction, and the heck?
That guy must have a brave dentist.
Fair.
Hello.
More on that later. Anyway, how about some good old Kelsey, big guy?
It's real.
Hello there. How tough are you?
Yes, I seem to have a real
Actually, he does kind of look like that really big, buffed out fish that the Flying Dutchman was peeping onto in that one episode before going all,
Yeah.
let's scare someone else.
Oh my gosh, yeah, with the headphones.
And he also has a very, like...
We all tapped out on account of a cola drinking contest these two
Wow,
guys had
you're
a
right.
while ago.
Yep.
They polished off the whole kit.
The whole Salty Spittoon episode really would not have had the same energy if this was the dude blocking the gate.
Diet caffeine free with a lemon twist.
I mean, you say that, I'd still be intimidated by this guy.
Fair. Ah, it does me hurt good to see children out after I cannot say that line out of context. That is so. Anyway.
Yeah, no, that's
You're
incredibly.
fine.
It was he likes spooking people. That's his whole anywho. Okay. Also, wow. Not only was that real quick, I'm also noticing. Not only was that contest like over so quickly, but that contest was apparently so legendary and so noteworthy that it already has a goddamn framed portrait on the wall over there on the right between Patrick and Mermaid Man. It was
Unfortunately, because of that whole epic glory hung on the wall, they're out of Kelsey.
Yeah. The only type that they have is
Oh, well,
the
he's actually
diet
even talking
caffeine.
about the picture right now. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, it's fine.
Sir, my friend
But yeah, no. Unfortunately, they have an alternative. What was it called? The Coral Cola, the Diet Coral Cola with a lemon twist.
And caffeine free, which apparently
Right.
SpongeBob thinks is disgusting.
I mean, have you ever tried? Granted, there is that whole notion that Diet Coke is somehow Diet Coke is like one of the rare diet sodas that actually just tastes pretty okay.
I guess that just comes from having been around for so long that people got accustomed to the taste.
Yeah. So I think you already talked about this the last part, but with all these backgrounds, do they have like supervision like from the actual art design team of the show, or were they just kind of allowed to?
I'm sure they had to submit them to Nickelodeon for feedback.
Probably.
And there's a picture of Plankton down there.
Weirdly enough, though, every other portrait besides that one are animated.
It's
Ooh.
alive. Looks like he has an eye infection.
That's unfortunate.
The bigger they are,
Nope.
the harder they fall.
And then
That guy looks like Ralph.
Wherever
Who's
he is.
Ralph?
okay,
Keep on rolling, baby.
He ain't-
Looks like good
he ain't
clean
rolling.
fun.
He's jumping and
Do the kelp do. He looks dizzy.
Do the kelp do?
I
Oh, do
genuinely-
the do. Got it.
oh yeah, yeah. Wow, you're right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that whole marketing.
Ooh.
Oh,
Fine.
that's not.
Fun.
It's not a good movie. No, it is actually a pretty good movie. I don't know.
What I'm wondering is what the heck's up with that plankton picture down there? Like,
Look at the time. I
Oh,
better
boy.
get cracking if I'm ever gonna make
And
it
we're
to the
never
next
gonna
paradise.
understand how the restroom signs work.
I think at this point, using the bathroom's the
That
least of our
Guess
concerns.
they used it for the burping contest.
all right. So unfortunately, Kelsey's a no-go. So we're just gonna have to deal with this stuff.
Free Coral Cola with a lemon twist.
Twist.
Well, let's do it.
Thankfully, we can pour us a mug of the stuff.
Righto.
And well, thankfully, due to our good-natured service of keeping an eye on the bar, we can take it along free of charge.
I hope Mermaid Man learned his lesson. Say, thanks for watching the place.
Thanks for the Diet
Aw.
Cola.
What was that? Nothing.